Man, if there's one thing that I've been all WrestleMania season so far, I would use the word vocal. I would use the word vocal to best describe how I've felt so far during this WrestleMania season. Ever since we got through the Royal Rumble, I have not felt that WWE has put their best foot forward so far on the road to WrestleMania. None of these shows have really felt important or special. WWE hasn't really done anything at all to get us excited about WrestleMania. But what we got tonight with the return of Kevin Owens, with Kofi Kingston being replaced in the Fastlane main event for the WWE Championship, and just the overall feel of the show, the excitement of the crowd, I honestly feel tonight was a big step forward with WWE on the road to WrestleMania. And we're going to go over all of that today right here on the Smackdown Live review. Now, a lot of people are upset at the fact that Kevin Owens is replacing Kofi Kingston. I hope to calm all your fears tonight. I hope to make sense of what happened tonight and the decision to bring Kevin Owens back early. All the reports that were going around had slotted Kevin Owens into the WrestleMania plans for Daniel Bryan. Obviously, that was all accelerated. And everybody is being very vocal on social media after SmackDown Live went off the air. How could they do this? Kofi's been there for 11 years. Why are they doing this to him? What sense does this make now? I don't want to see Kevin Owens battle Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. It's Kofi Kingston's position. We're going to go over all that. And I honestly think with everybody as upset as they are tonight, this may be the absolute best thing for everybody that has been in support of Kofi Kingston. But WWE has to be very careful. WWE has to be very careful that there's no backlash from this, because it does come off a certain way, and we're going to go over all that tonight on the SmackDown Live review. Also, Matt Hardy has made his return to the WWE, and I have a little news story that Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com broke as SmackDown Live was on the air, why Matt was placed with Jeff Hardy, and why Matt is back on WWE television after pretty much saying we've seen the last of him in the WWE, and he's been teasing that his contract has been coming up. So we're going to go over all that tonight right here on the show, man. But tonight was a damn good episode of SmackDown Live. One that I was very excited for going into tonight, and one that I, at the end of it, was very pleased with. And a lot of the people that I converse with each and every week were pleased with it as well. Now, if you guys missed my Monday Night Raw review, I had a little less positivity going into Monday Night Raw. And I felt Monday Night Raw was not a good show, looking back on the 3 hours. I felt that Monday Night Raw was just there. Outside of everything that was announced with Roman Reigns and Ric Flair's 70th birthday party, there was really nothing there that got me excited about WrestleMania season. Yeah, Ricochet and Aleister Black beat the Revival. And yes, Finn Balor had a very good television match with Lio Rush. But outside of that, what does it really mean? What does it really mean for anybody? And with everything that's going on right now in the WWE, Monday Night Raw should have been a lot better show. That's just my honest opinion. So if you guys missed my Monday Night Raw review and you want my real thoughts on the Roman Reigns announcement that he is now in remission with leukemia, if you guys want my thoughts on all the storylines coming out of Monday night with the return of Batista, make sure you guys go and check that out. Link is in the annotation, that little eye that you see in the top right corner of your screen. Off the Script was jam-packed with news, rumors, and opinion all weekend long. Is Vince McMahon sabotaging the WWE to prove Triple H wrong by bringing up those 4 NXT call-ups in DIY, Aleister Black, and Ricochet? Is Roman Reigns returning to Raw just for a ratings grab? And obviously, as of this week, I don't see it lasting because it never does. Roman Reigns drew a big rating on Monday Night Raw, but the overtones of him returning did not sit well with a lot of people. I go over all of that on Saturday's episode of Off the Script. And Sunday is the new day set to turn on Kofi Kingston at WrestleMania. We could very well see that with the happenings on SmackDown Live tonight, with him being replaced at WWE Fastlane. All those videos, man. Did you miss any of them? So go check them out. From the most consistent, prolific, and dedicated I am, motherfucker. Nobody else. So go check all that stuff out right there in the annotation, man. Thank you guys so much for all the support on my recent content. We're almost there, man. We're like 2 or 3 away from 150 t-shirts sold. Bonfire.com, the exclusive home of the new JD's Elite t-shirt, man. Go and get yours today. We are absolutely on fire. I have to check the numbers, but I think this is the most successful t-shirt in the history of Off the Script. If you guys want yours today exclusively, bonfire.com. Link will be down in the description in this very video, man. Go and check all that stuff out. Get yours today, bonfire.com, and join JD's Elite. Follow me on social media, man, at JD from NY206 on both Instagram and Twitter. If you guys want to follow me on Twitch, JD from New York, and please hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that bell for all notifications, man. We are dangerously close to 107,000 subscribers. And if you guys want to support the podcast on Patreon, you guys know the deal. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Let's get into SmackDown Live, man. SmackDown Live opened up with a contract signing for the WWE Championship match at WWE Fastlane. Did that bother anybody else the way it did me tonight? I mean, it's a lot of WWEs when you want to describe what your pay-per-view is. It's WWE Fastlane. This is the verbatim that Vince McMahon wants his commentators to regurgitate on commentary. It's disgusting. WWE Fastlane. No shit. Am I watching TNA? Am I watching Impact Wrestling? Am I watching New Japan Pro Wrestling Fastlane? Am I watching AEW Fastlane? Now, who am I watching? Of course, we know it's WWE Fastlane. Why can't we just shorten it to Fastlane? Do you know how ridiculous it sounds when they are describing the name of the pay-per-view and then they have to go into the WWE title match and the participants in said WWE title match? I might be stretching here a little bit, but it's fucking annoying. And it just sounds awful. That's just me. So they had a contract signing for the WWE title at Fastlane with Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan sat in a leather chair and he was holding his wood WWE Championship with a hemp strap. Organic hemp, by the way. And he had this stone-cold look of just nothing on his face. Emotionless was Daniel Bryan. I absolutely love it. I still, to this day, with Kofi Mania running wild, or so-called running wild, in WWE, why anybody would want to take the title off of Daniel Bryan when he is just absolutely masterful at what he's doing right now. Anyway, that's just my honest opinion on that. We had Shane McMahon and Stephanie McMahon go over random highlights of Kofi's career. Stephanie McMahon, I swear to God, man, if any of you muted the TV, I would not have blamed you whatsoever. I did not. For whatever reason, I was tweeting on my iPad. I was doing some stuff, writing notes on my iPad. I pretended as if she wasn't even there, but I heard the banshees, yells and yelps and screams. I heard the gargoyles, just fucking raspy voice, shatter glass all over the fucking arena. It was god-awful. The way she just comes off as excited. It sounds so fake. It sounds forced. It sounds nauseating. I can't listen to that woman speak. Please never pick up a microphone ever again, man. It just sounds completely horrid. It's atrocious. I don't know who enjoys Stephanie McMahon with a microphone in her hand. Anyway, they were going over Kofi Kingston and highlights of his career. Stephanie McMahon, the heel, comes out and is excited about Kofi Kingston. New Day is in the ring. Xavier Woods is playing his trombone. Big E is hugging everybody in the ring. Stephanie McMahon is dancing along with Big E in the ring. This is a woman of power. A woman who was in Ronda Rousey's face on Monday Night Raw telling her a stern no about reinstating Becky Lynch for WrestleMania. And here she is on Tuesday dancing and grinding with Big E. Must be a great job Stephanie McMahon has. So Kofi Kingston's running laps around the ring. He's excited. So they make the match official, or at least want to make the match official. After all this sucking of Kofi's cock on SmackDown Live, Daniel Bryan still sitting there, emotionless, and it's great. Out comes Vince McMahon. Kofi just got through saying how it's 11 years. I've waited all my life, all my career for an opportunity like this. This is not only my opportunity and my moment, it's a moment I'm sharing with my brothers, he said. I don't know if that's going to come into play later on down the road. There's a lot of brotherly love here now with the New Day. Not that there hasn't been brotherly love before with the New Day, but it's a little bit more exacerbated now with Kofi in the spotlight that he has. So I'm not sure if they're really planting small seeds for a possible breakup by announcing with Kofi Kingston along with his brothers in the New Day. It wouldn't be possible without his brothers. It wouldn't be possible with all the legions and the fans of all over the world, the emails, the tweets, the Instagram DMs, everything. People of just all over the place, just supporting Kofi Kingston. So after all that, there's one man. You thought I was the one man who was not along with Kofi Mania. Apparently, there is two people who are not too keen on Kofi Mania. Someone I figured that was in a position where if I would tell you, Vince McMahon is making the right decision here, I would absolutely have to agree with him. Now, me and Vince McMahon have not seen eye to eye. You figure, well, JD, you're along with Vince McMahon on this. You hate Vince McMahon. But tonight, I don't hate Vince McMahon. I think this was an absolutely brilliant decision by Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon says, well, listen, Kofi, I appreciate what you've done for me over the last 11 years, but I got to give the people what they want. I have to give the matchups that people want. I got to give the best to everybody watching the product. And this is why I am actively removing you from the Fastlane WWE title match. Everybody was like, what the fuck is going on? What is going on? Xavier Woods is yelling. Big E is yelling from the ring directly at Vince McMahon. He says he's giving the title opportunity to someone who deserves it more so than Kofi. And he brings out Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens has returned to the WWE, and it was absolutely fucking fantastic. Now, we got the return of Batista on Monday Night Raw. We got the return of Kevin Owens on SmackDown Live. I thought it was absolutely fucking great. I'm happy to see Kevin Owens, man. I'm thrilled to see Kevin Owens. And I think this is the absolute best decision that WWE could have done for Kofi Kingston and everybody on the bandwagon for Kofi Mania. Now, you're probably looking at it. There were people who are in disbelief. There are people who are salty. There are people who are triggered. They're just visibly upset over the fact that Vince McMahon, how could he do this to Kofi Kingston? The immediate first thing that popped into my mind for all these idiots out there that want to take everything that they see on television without actually thinking about it for a second, so to the heart, you got to calm down. This is the best decision for Kofi Kingston in the long run. What this does is it gets Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan at Fastlane. It was rumored that Kofi Kingston was not going to factor into the WWE title going into WrestleMania. So right off the bat, the fact that we're getting Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan at Fastlane, it automatically skyrockets Kofi Kingston's possibilities for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania to astronomical numbers. So I don't know why anybody's fucking complaining. What would you rather have? Kevin Owens now or Kevin Owens at WrestleMania if you're a Kofi Kingston fan? I think if you're a Kofi Kingston fan, you want Kevin Owens now in the Fastlane main event, which frees you up for the WrestleMania main event. This immediately, the possibilities are endless here. Kofi's chances of winning the WWE Championship at WrestleMania have skyrocketed after SmackDown Live tonight. Second of all, this brings Kevin Owens back as, right now, a babyface. But it most certainly, in the long run, is going to direct him right back to being a heel, which I think is the better role for Kevin Owens. He's not going to be a heel going into the match with Daniel Bryan because Daniel Bryan is the biggest heel on SmackDown Live right now. I don't know how the fans are going to react to this, but in the long run, Kevin Owens is going to direct right back to being a heel. And Kevin Owens, the best thing about Kevin Owens, doesn't matter if you put him in a role of a heel. Doesn't matter if you put him in the role of a babyface. Doesn't matter if you put him in the role of a fucking clown with Chris Jericho in a comedic situation. Kevin Owens excels at pretty much anything you put him to do. So there's no doubt in my mind that whatever Kevin Owens is going to do, he's going to do it to the best of his ability, with a lot of intensity, and we're going to find enjoyment in what he does. So I don't really mind that going into this Fastlane match, he is on the babyface side of the fence. But to Kofi fans right now, he's the ultimate heel because everybody has a problem with Kevin Owens taking Kofi Kingston's spotlight away from him. Now, what this does is I don't expect Kevin Owens to win the WWE Championship. I don't know how the WWE Championship match is going to end. In fact, I'm glad I don't know. Because with Kofi Kingston in the Fastlane main event, not only does it push him to WrestleMania, and the probability of that happening is more likely, but now with his removal from this Fastlane match, it also makes it a little bit more unpredictable. We don't know how this is going to end. We don't know if the New Day is going to get involved. We don't know how Kevin Owens is going to end up in this Fastlane match with Daniel Bryan. I don't expect him to be the WWE champion. So it gives everybody a little bit more of an unpredictable feel, because if Kofi was there, the logic behind it is that Kofi was never going to win the WWE Championship, and this was just WWE covering their tracks for the mistake that they made at the Elimination Chamber. They heard and seen everything that Kofi did. They heard the fans at the Elimination Chamber, and they ended up giving him a WWE Championship match based off what he did at the Elimination Chamber. And that was a way for WWE to correct the mistake that they did, because realistically, Kofi should have won the WWE title at the Elimination Chamber. I still believe that was the best decision. Now, WWE gave him the opportunity, and instead of having him go in there and lose and then pretty much remove himself from the entire WWE title discussion, you're now getting Kofi Kingston more than likely at WrestleMania. So I don't understand why people are so upset over the decision to add Kevin Owens into this entire deal. Now, WWE needs to be careful here. WWE certainly needs to be careful about all of this, because Kevin Owens is great at what he does, but there could be backlash to this from social media or on social media, or the cretins on social media, however you want to describe them. You know, I've already heard from people just based off my tweets, and I immediately muted them because they're unintelligent fucking idiots. But there's a lot of racial overtones in this. And I don't really want to be that guy, but I have to bring all variables to the table here. How many people on social media immediately thought of, well, you know, it's Black History Month, and here's Kevin Owens on the 26th of February. It's still February. It's still Black History Month. The white guy replacing Kofi Kingston, who's the black guy in this situation. How many of you immediately went to that racial overtone situation? I know I didn't. Now, some of you might be doing that and thinking that, which you're completely wrong on all accounts. It has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with racism. It has nothing to do with anybody's skin preference. It doesn't matter. This is what is best for everybody if you're a fan of Kofi Kingston. But WWE has to be careful about it, because it could blow up in their face. WWE may be in a situation where Kevin Owens goes into this and he gets heat for the wrong reasons, because he was the one who replaced Kofi Kingston. Now, I don't think that's going to be the case, In fact, I think this is going to get Kofi more over with everybody because Vince McMahon blatantly came out and replaced him for absolutely no reason. Now, removing all that, that's just a small variable in this situation that I found, believe it or not, on social media. So I had to throw that out there. I don't believe it has anything to do with that, but WWE should be careful about all of that racial overtone nonsense because people are already talking about it on social media. What WWE could probably do here, if they so chose, is they could really play up this storyline. Because this is not once, but twice, they actually did something with Vince McMahon overturning something that his family had originally planned. Now, Triple H was about to give Becky Lynch the WrestleMania main event with Ronda Rousey. That was overturned by Vince McMahon, and he added Charlotte Flair. Stephanie and Shane rather, along with Stephanie McMahon, being that she was there present in the ring tonight, they appointed Kofi Kingston as the number one contender for the WWE title. Again, overturned by Vince McMahon, and he added Kevin Owens instead. I don't know what this could possibly lead to. They even hinted that Kevin Owens did not know, or he refused, rather. He refused to tell Stephanie and Shane McMahon how long this was in the works. When did you find out about this? Why are we just finding out about this now? You know, we could be on the verge of a new corporation. We could be on the verge of a possible Vince McMahon versus his own family type of dynamic on WWE television because I don't know why it happened within weeks that Vince McMahon overturned things that his family are in charge of. It's a very interesting notion to think about. We could be on the verge of something like that. And Vince doing what he did tonight could accelerate plans for a Vince McMahon versus his own family dynamic leading into WrestleMania or after WrestleMania. I don't know. I really don't know. We could see another corporation that Vince McMahon puts together with Charlotte Flair and Kevin Owens being number one or number two here. We really don't know what's going on. And the other thing I don't like about this entire situation is the fact that WWE pretty much took exactly what they did with Becky Lynch and applied it to Kevin Owens here. It's pretty much the same storyline, but without Becky Lynch's leg injury and the fact that she needed to seek doctor's orders to get cleared to be at WrestleMania. WWE just primarily did that storyline here with Kevin Owens without all of that nonsense behind it. So, in the end here, Kevin Owens being in the Fastlane main event is probably going to get Kofi Kingston into the WrestleMania WWE title match. And who knows? We may end up getting Kofi Mania in New Jersey. Now, what could we possibly get as far as a matchup at WrestleMania? We could get Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan one-on-one, which I'm sure everybody would love after the fact of tonight. He was screwed of his one-on-one match with Daniel Bryan. We could get Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE title in a triple threat match. Or better yet, nobody seems to be talking about Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali is the one who's been screwed here more so than anybody. Because this was all his opportunity, and he was replaced. He never got a shot at the Elimination Chamber. He was never in the gauntlet match, and he pinned Daniel Bryan twice. So, if anybody has a gripe here, or a reason to argue, it's Mustafa Ali. They could add him into the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. We could end up getting a fatal four-way at WrestleMania for the WWE title. And Kofi don't even need to pin Daniel Bryan. Kofi could pin Kevin Owens, Kofi could pin Mustafa Ali, and Kofi can end up being the WWE Champion without pinning the WWE Champion in that type of situation. So, in the end, folks, I think everybody needs to calm down. This is what is best for Kofi Kingston right now. This gives you the biggest probability of him actually, legitimately being the WWE Champion and better at WrestleMania and not some B-level pay-per-view like the Elimination Chamber or Fastlane. It ended up probably working out best for everybody on this Kofi Mania bandwagon. So let's calm down and let's see what happens. This is a nice little wrinkle in the plans for everything. WWE may be on board with Kofi, and we don't even know it yet. So let's see how this wave rides out, and we may be looking at a new WWE champion in Kofi Kingston come WrestleMania. I thought it was great The only downside of it is the fucking racial overtones that I'm hearing from people on social media already. It has nothing to do with that. And the fact that it's pretty much the same thing that they did with Becky Lynch and Charlotte, with Charlotte replacing Becky at WrestleMania, minus all the mumbo jumbo that they did with Becky Lynch on Monday Night Raw. Moving on, we got Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy returning to the WWE alongside his brother Jeff. The Hardy Boys are back. No more broken. No more woken. Matt Hardy on WWE television. Now, why is this? Well, according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com, who broke the news on Twitter this evening during SmackDown Live, Matt Hardy has been teasing that his WWE contract is coming up in a couple of weeks. His contract would have actually been up right before WrestleMania. What WWE did is both contracts with Matt and Jeff, there was an option to roll them over for a year, and WWE took it upon themselves to roll both Matt and Jeff Hardy's contract over for one more year. So now they expire next March in 2020. So they will be with the WWE for the next full calendar year. I do not mind that they are A, back together as the Hardy Boys. B, I do not mind that we are not getting a full-blown WWE version of the broken gimmick. Now, the reason I say this is because WWE let everybody down with the broken gimmick. They never fully embraced it. We had these high hopes for Matt Hardy coming on in with the gimmick. He owned all rights to the broken or woken universe, and WWE really never let him fully go full steam ahead with that. It's either you give me 100% of that or you give me zero. WWE was barely giving us 30% of the woken gimmick on Monday Night Raw, and it went nowhere. They did the one little thing with Bray Wyatt. They ended up winning the tag team championships. It was good for Bray Wyatt in the short term, but it really didn't do anything as far as Matt Hardy as a whole, as a character on WWE television. If WWE isn't going to fully embrace that, I don't mind it just laying dormant. It's not like Matt Hardy can't come out there and still do delete or still do the woken mannerisms or speak that way. Now, I don't know why people would have an issue with this. In fact, if you really look at the entire situation, Matt Hardy joining Jeff in the resurrection or the resurgence of the WWE Tag Team division is probably what is best for business. Because if you add a team like the Hardys, that's a lot of credibility there to the overall tag team division. So I don't mind this at all. Now, it was supposed to be Johnny Gargano versus Cesaro on SmackDown Live tonight. We did not get that. And I don't know why plans changed. I don't know why plans were changed. Johnny's not hurt. So I don't know what happened there. I hope to have more news on that when we come to Off the Script on Friday as to why the match didn't take place. But WWE felt like, well, let's get Matt back out there. He's healthy and ready to go. We'll give them the Hardys versus the Bar. And that's exactly what we got here on SmackDown Live. The Hardys win with a big swanton bomb off of the top rope by Jeff Hardy right onto Sheamus. And that was good enough for the 1, 2, 3. Matt looked good. Matt looked a little trimmer. He looked a little leaner. It's the best he's really looked since he's been back in the WWE. He's always got that weird limp, which it kind of comes off as if he's always hurt. But that's just through years and years and years of just bumps and abuse. But Matt looks great, and the fact that he's back with Jeff, I think it's the absolute best situation for both guys, and it adds instant credibility to the tag team division. So I have absolutely no problems whatsoever with any of that. Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy back together with the Hardy Boys, and they beat the Bar tonight on SmackDown Live. Swanton on Sheamus for the big win. Aleister Black and Ricochet were backstage, and they were talking, and they're going over what they got to do tonight with Rusev and Nakamura. Now, a lot of people have asked me, JD, why are they teaming these two together? I briefly mentioned it on the Monday Night Raw review last night. WWE has to make sense of what is going on with the storylines in NXT, and the storylines in NXT now have to correlate with what's going on with the main roster. The reason why Aleister Black and Ricochet are right now a pairing is because you are going to be seeing a lot of them in tag team format on NXT. The Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic is happening And it's starting, I believe, in about a week from this Wednesday, I believe. I could be mistaken on that, but I know for a fact that it's being started up on the road to TakeOver New York. Aleister Black and Ricochet are going to be a team in that 8-team tournament. So WWE needs to correlate with NXT and vice versa. So Aleister Black and Ricochet are going to be featured as a tag team pairing because of their involvement in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. The winner of that tournament is going to be the number one contenders for the War Raiders at NXT TakeOver New York for the NXT Tag Team Championships. So Lana comes walking on into the men's dressing room. What she's doing in the men's dressing room, I don't know. Ricochet is standing there, and Lana is looking up and down Ricochet. She's eyeballing Ricochet. She says she doesn't understand what all the fuss is about, and I see nothing special in you. And then she looks over at Aleister Black, and she calls Aleister Black ordinary. Now, I don't know who scripted this for Lana, but I'm wondering if there is any feeling there from whoever wrote this to have Lana go out there and regurgitate that to both Aleister Black and Ricochet. Maybe someone in the WWE doesn't find Aleister Black to be all that special, and that he's ordinary. Or Ricochet is nothing special at all. And the fact that they feel that way, they had Lana scripted to say that to both of these guys. I always wonder shit like that. I really do. She goes on with the insults, and Ricochet points to their recent win over the Revival on Monday Night Raw. Well, we were just on Monday Night Raw last night, and we beat their tag team champions. And he loves, he says, when people always call him someone that isn't special, because it gives me great joy to go out there and prove literally everybody who says that wrong. And I can honestly sit here and feel the same way as Ricochet. Everybody doesn't think I'm anything special or I don't have a voice. Meanwhile, everybody always watches me even though they fucking can't stand the sight of me. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling that I am a part of your days knowing that you hate my fucking guts. I love it. So I can find some common ground there with Ricochet. United States Open Challenge. Yes, I don't like the open challenges. I know. Open challenges to me are a way for WWE to indirectly tell you that, listen, we have our champion, whomever that may be, and we have absolutely no fucking plans for him, so let's send him out there in a fucking open challenge. That's exactly what they're doing with R-Truth. And they have no plans for R-Truth. The guy's been off TV ever since he won the United States Championship from Nakamura and Rusev. So that's that. He's with Carmella. And I'm sure Corey Graves was getting a nice little fucking show for himself with Carmella wearing those tight leather pants sitting at ringside. Truth is out for the open challenge. And he says that he wants to defend this title tonight, and he admires so much of what John Cena did with the United States Championship that he's doing the open challenge tonight. He was a big John Cena guy. So who's going to come out and challenge for the United States Championship? Out comes Andrade, and I would be lying to you if I said I didn't really, or I didn't jump off my couch just a little bit, because I'm like, here we go. Here we go. This is exactly what we need, man. Andrade as the WWE United States Champion. And no better way to get a WrestleMania program kicked off with Andrade and Rey Mysterio than with the United States Championship. So Andrade comes out, and then out comes Rey Mysterio. So Rey Mysterio runs down the aisle, and he bum rushes Andrade, knocks him down in the aisleway, and we got Andrade and Rey Mysterio in the ring with R-Truth. Now, they're fighting, and they're shoving each other, both Rey Mysterio and Andrade. And R-Truth is telling everybody to calm down. So he asks everybody, what would John Cena do in this situation? And Carmella said, well, if John Cena was in this situation, he would defend the title against both guys. And R-Truth made some funny comment. I don't really remember what he said. I believe he said, damn, John Cena's crazy. Or John Cena's brave, he says. So Truth was thinking more like, no thank you. And no thank you. He didn't want to defend the title in a triple threat match, but he said, you know what? I'm going to make John Cena proud tonight, and I'm going to defend the title in a triple threat situation right here on SmackDown Live. And the result was a pretty damn good television match for the United States Championship, man. R-Truth actually ended up retaining the United States Championship after a shock pin over Rey Mysterio. This was a damn good match, man. I love what Rey and Andrade Cien Almas can do in the ring. There was a great spot in this match where R-Truth had Andrade in an electric chair position on his shoulders. Rey Mysterio springboarded off the top rope and did a Hurricane Rana off of R-Truth's shoulders and just threw Andrade down to the mat. It was absolutely fucking beautiful. And I'm thinking, man, if this is the direction for WrestleMania for Andrade and Rey Mysterio, they are going to tear the house down in New Jersey. But at the end of it all, it was Andrade leveling Rey with a back elbow. One of the most devastating back elbows that Andrade has ever delivered on Rey Mysterio. So we get a back and forth between those guys. Truth is actually on the outside. He got thrown into the steel post. He comes back into the mix. Rey ends up hitting the 619 on Andrade. Truth immediately comes in from behind and rolls Rey up from behind to retain the United States Championship. Now, the one thing I want everybody to realize here is, because I know everybody wanted either Rey or Andrade to win the United States Championship, and I know I'm not alone in this situation. When this was a triple threat match announced for SmackDown Live tonight, I felt like they were definitely taking the title off of R-Truth. And that's not what happened. You know, R-Truth is not some pushover. The guy can actually fucking go. But the fact that we got Andrade and Rey Mysterio mixed in with the United States Championship now in this situation with R-Truth should give you a clear indication of where they want to go for WrestleMania. And the fact that Andrade did not get pinned and Rey Mysterio ended up taking the pin should tell you a lot about what WWE feels about Andrade. Tonight they protected Andrade. For all we know, this could lead to more programs between Andrade and R-Truth, or Andrade and Rey Mysterio, or Rey Mysterio and R-Truth. A mixture of all three, where I feel Andrade is going to end up getting the United States Championship in the end, and we're going to get our United States Championship match to open WrestleMania with Andrade Cien Almas versus Rey Mysterio. So tonight, I would not take this as a bad thing. We still have a few weeks left to go. But the fact that Rey Mysterio ended up taking the pin here and Andrade did not, just take that as an indication that WWE is protecting Andrade Cien Almas. Do not worry. The guy's got big things in store for his 2019. This is absolutely nothing to worry about with Andrade Cien Almas. Honky Tonk Man was announced for the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm happy that he's in the Hall of Fame. Honky Tonk Man was one of my favorites growing up watching the product. I loved what he brought to the table. I appreciated him more so when I was actually a little bit older. Now looking back on it and watching the video package that they showcased on SmackDown Live tonight, I can honestly say that the Honky Tonk Man has one of the greatest WWE theme songs of all time. And man, he had some of the best looking sideburns I had ever seen. The guy is an absolute fucking beast, man. Definitely one of the more charismatic, just colorful guys that just, you know, it wasn't the fact that he was a great in-ring performer, but the fact that he could fucking entertain. And when you looked at him, you automatically seen superstar on the Honky Tonk Man. I'm happy for him. A lot of people were poking fun. Everybody thought he was in the Hall of Fame already, which it's kind of a shame that he's not. But in 2019, he gets his induction into the WWE Hall of Fame. Certainly well deserved. Ricochet and Aleister Black versus Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. Before that, I'm jumping ahead here. Charlotte Flair comes out and she addresses what happened on Monday Night Raw. She takes the microphone and everybody thought that she was going to mention what happened to Ric Flair at the hands of Batista. No mention of her father being beat up on his 70th birthday. Logic hole number one. Logic hole number one. Right there. Don't know why they didn't make mention of that or why she didn't care. She wasn't even there. I don't think so. But I figured she'd be right in the ring along with him. And then on Tuesday night on SmackDown Live, she didn't even mention a peep of Ric Flair or give us a health update after the attack from Batista. Anyway, whatever. She takes the microphone and she talks about Vince McMahon saving WrestleMania 35 and the Raw Women's title by putting her, Charlotte, in the place of Becky Lynch. So fans are chanting for Becky. No sign of Becky tonight, thank God. It would have been completely overkill if Becky Lynch was on SmackDown Live tonight. Fans are chanting for Becky, and Flair asks if they are done. She can't stand it. She can't stand the sound of Becky's name being chanted. So she goes on putting herself over, taking shots at Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch. They actually did something really, really, really great here in this promo. And I really appreciate WWE backtracking to what Ronda Rousey said after the Survivor Series. And she showed a clip of Ronda Rousey saying, if you can't do what you need to do as far as obligations go for the champion, or for the championship, then walk away. Pretty much walk away. And they played this clip on Monday Night Raw. And I'm like, wow, WWE is really giving you at least some coverage over the span of the last couple of months to backtrack here and make sense of what Ronda said and applied it here on SmackDown Live. Now, Ronda gave up the Raw Women's title on Monday Night Raw last night. And she, apparently, does not want the obligation of being the Raw Women's Champion. And Charlotte said, well, Ronda Rousey is stepping aside. And now we need someone else to come on in and be the real champion that we all need. A real champion that Vince McMahon needs. Flair goes on about how Ronda Rousey and Becky are scared of her. And she goes on to announce that she is coming to Monday Night Raw. She is the true champion. And on Monday Night Raw, she's going to show up on Raw so Vince can crown her the new Raw Women's Champion. Someone who deserves it. Your queen, Charlotte Flair. I thought it was great that they actually backtracked and made sense of what Ronda said the Monday after Survivor Series and applied it here. I thought it was great storytelling. Just a nice little, dose of frosting on this WrestleMania cake that is Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, and Becky Lynch. So we'll see what happens on Monday. It should be cool. If Ronda's going to be there, maybe we'll get some more answers as to why she did what she did. I want an explanation. What are management going to do with the Raw Women's Championship, being that Ronda just pretty much gave the title back because Ronda said it was nothing but a gaudy accessory that's not even her style. And if you don't give me Becky Lynch, I don't want anything to do with you or this championship because this is not what the people want. I am nobody's slave or nobody's worker. This is what we all wanted, and now you're not giving it to me? Well, if you're not giving me and the fans what we want and what I want, I'm not giving you what you want. Without me, you have no WrestleMania main event. So we'll see what happens on Monday Night Raw. Ricochet and Aleister Black versus Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura, man. Long, dragged-out match that really didn't do anything to get me excited. And I love both Ricochet and Aleister Black. Can anyone be any more unenthusiastic or just not give a shit more than Shinsuke Nakamura? Holy shit. The guy's body language speaks to... The guy don't even need to say anything. His body language speaks to me as, I don't give a fuck. I'm just here because they put me here, and I'm just here to collect the paycheck. I don't know what's going on with Nakamura. I was told his contract is coming up in March. He could very well be on his way to AEW. I don't know. In fact, it might not be the worst decision he could make. I think they would definitely treat him the way he needs to be treated over in AEW. And we got to get Nakamura back to what we seen when he first made his WWE debut at TakeOver Dallas against Sami Zayn. That Nakamura was happy to be there. In that moment, in that building, in that environment, in that ring with Sami Zayn. And everybody just chanting and fucking just having a blast. Now Nakamura could not give a single fuck about who he's in the ring with or who he's wrestling at all, or where he is, what city he's in, who he's performing in front of. It's disgusting what WWE did to just kill all of his charisma and all of his attitude. It's disgusting. And here he is in the ring with Ricochet and Aleister Black. If this was Nakamura back at NXT TakeOver Dallas, this is a 5-star match. 5-star match written all over it. Nakamura now, I don't even know if I want to see him in WWE anymore, just for his own sake. It's truly disgusting. Rusev as well. Rusev has been very vocal about what he's asked, what he's done. He and Lana, he's working his ass off. Rusev looks in the best shape he's ever been. And he had the WWE United States Championship and they took it off of him. And now they're not doing anything with him. He didn't do anything with the United States title, and now they're not doing anything with him since he dropped the title to R-Truth. And he's been very vocal about this on Lillian Garcia's Chasing the Glory podcast. What more does he have to do? What does he have to do to get Vince McMahon's attention? I want the ball, and they won't give it to me. No matter what I do, no matter the strides I take, no matter how great of a match I put on, no matter how much I just care about the position I'm in and the strides that I take to look good and just play the part, they don't want anything to do with him. It's going to be one of those situations where he does, feels underappreciated, and I would not be surprised if Rusev is the next guy to ask for his release. Or if they just let his contract run out and he goes somewhere else. It's a real shame. And Rusev's in the same boat as Nakamura. He just has absolutely no excitement at all. He's lifeless. And this is all WWE's fault. I don't know why they constantly just beat Nakamura and Rusev down and down and down to a point where this is the result. It's really a shame. Rusev and Nakamura lose here to Ricochet and Aleister Black. We had some nice back and forth with Aleister Black and Nakamura. We had some nice back and forth with Ricochet and Rusev. In the end here, Nakamura is going for a Kinshasa and Aleister Black is on the mat. He pops up out of nowhere. We get a Black Mass. 1, 2, 3. Black covers Nakamura for the pin. And they mentioned on commentary that Aleister Black and Ricochet are setting the tag team division on fire. God only knows what that means, but we could be seeing this pairing for the next several months going into WWE 2019. Kayla Braxton's backstage with AJ Styles. First of all, I was a little nauseated at the fact that the first thing he said was Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is in remission. Great. And then after this promo, we got a Roman Reigns video package documenting everything from the time he relinquished the title and the time that he spent on Monday Night Raw last night and then his Good Morning America appearance this morning. I muted the fucking television. Enough is enough. Okay, he's back. He's in remission. Let's move on with the fucking product. I'm just sick and tired of the pandering that WWE is more than likely going to do for weeks and weeks on end about Roman Reigns. He's back. He's in the ring. He's speared. He's Superman punched on Monday Night Raw. He's a fighter. We get it. We get it. I have problems with everything that they did last night, but I'm happy that he is 100% healthy. And we'll go over that on Off the Script. It's ridiculous to me that WWE brought out a new t-shirt first and foremost and presented that before the guy even said a fucking thing. And immediately when he was finished speaking on the leukemia, they were promoting his new t-shirt. Can we wait a couple of weeks? I understand they got to make money and I understand they're a business, but it looks ridiculous. And the fact now that we're getting, all these testimonials and week after week, I'm just expecting all this nonsense to have, happen on WWE television. Please, let's move on with day-to-day business. Monday will be forgotten. It was a great moment then. It's WrestleMania season. We got more of a WrestleMania card to flesh out. So please, let's move on from what happened on Monday. I legitimately muted the television when they played the video package for Roman Reigns. AJ Styles starts off talking about Roman Reigns being in remission. Kayla brings up that AJ's been a cornerstone of SmackDown Live, and right now he feels, or she said that everybody feels that AJ's in a slump for the first time in his WWE career. AJ says he is his own harsh critic, and nothing can be said that he hasn't said to himself. He goes on about setting his own standards and how they push him to be the best. AJ says sometimes as of late, he hasn't been himself, and he's been part of the blame, especially with the rise of Daniel Bryan. I had the chance to stop Daniel Bryan from being the WWE champion, he says, but I did not succeed. AJ says that it doesn't mean he won't stop trying. It took him 15 years to get to the WWE, and he's never given up at all, and he won't be giving up at all. He's going to stop listening to the critics, pick himself up, dust himself off, fight the next challenger, and show everybody why that this is the house that AJ Styles built. All of a sudden, Randy Orton appears in frame. He looks at AJ Styles and says, "The house that AJ Styles what?" And then he walked away. So we are on the verge of a Randy Orton versus AJ Styles feud heading into WrestleMania. And I think that would be great. On the grand stage, give those guys time. Should be a great match. And who knows? Randy Orton might burn AJ Styles' house down to the ground like he did the Wyatt family compound. I'd love to see that, quite frankly. So I would love to see Randy Orton in a role where he was playing that venomous heel that we seen just not too long ago in 2018. I think we need to start seeing that Randy Orton again come to life, and there's no better person right now than AJ Styles. Randy Orton's whole character with this new heel turn that he was on in late 2018. He's going to take down all of our idols. There's no better guy to do that against than AJ Styles. So hopefully we start seeing that heel Randy Orton that we all loved. That venomous side of Randy Orton comes out with AJ Styles going into WrestleMania. Kofi Kingston and Kevin Owens versus Daniel Bryan and Rowan. It's not Eric Rowan anymore. It's Rowan. This was a pretty good tag team match. At the end of this thing, Bryan goes back up top for Frog Splash. Rowan pulls, or actually Owens comes off the top rope for a Frog Splash as Owens yanked him down. Rowan tosses Owens over the announce table on the outside. Kofi leaps out of the ring, but Rowan catches him midair. He does one of them trust dives. So Rowan catches him on the outside, catches him in midair. Kofi slides out and sends Rowan face first into the ring post. Kofi goes up top, leaps down with a big chop on Rowan to the floor. Owens returns to the ring with Bryan. Bryan misses his running corner dropkick and hits knee first into the corner. Owens catches Bryan and hits a big stunner, and that is it. Kevin Owens pins the WWE champion, which apparently everybody seems to be doing nowadays, which obviously should be a sign to everybody that Daniel Bryan's not losing the title at Fastlane, because not only has he did pin Kofi at the Elimination Chamber, but Daniel Bryan's been on the receiving end of losses in tag team environments. So this should be an indication that Daniel Bryan's probably going to get his revenge at some point and going to get his win back and his pin back when it's all said and done. Owens is the latest to pin Daniel Bryan after a big Stone Cold Stunner, and he pins the WWE champion, and that was the way SmackDown Live went off the air. Again, I would not be too alarmed with Kevin Owens replacing Kofi Kingston in the WWE Championship match. The one criticism outside the fact that I think it's just a play on the Becky Lynch storyline and they're applying it to Kevin Owens minus the knee injury and the crutches. Now, there is a storyline logic gap here that I know a lot of you guys are pretty much well aware of. The last time we seen Kevin Owens and Vince McMahon in the ring together, Kevin Owens was headbutting Vince McMahon to get back at Shane McMahon, and he left Vince McMahon bloodied in the middle of the ring on SmackDown Live. And I don't know if he pop-up powerbombed him or did a frog splash on Vince McMahon, one or the other. He brutally beat down Vince McMahon, and here we are in 2019, and Vince McMahon is ushering out Kevin Owens as the new WWE Champion, number one contender at Fastlane against Daniel Bryan, and Vince McMahon is uttering the words that he's replacing Kofi Kingston with someone who deserves it more. Meanwhile, Kevin Owens was in the ring with this guy. Last time we seen Kevin Owens and Vince McMahon in the ring together, he was headbutting Vince McMahon, the CEO, leaving him in a bloody fucking mess. Like, I don't understand the logic gap there. Nothing along those lines was discussed tonight. It was not even mentioned at all. But everybody remembers it. I remember it. You remember it. Apparently WWE wants you to forget about it. I just wish that they would tie up those loose ends, man, because, people remember what happened. And nothing was made mention of on SmackDown Live. All in all, this was a damn good show. It felt like WrestleMania season. SmackDown had that big show feel tonight. And I'm loving what they're doing right now. I really am. SmackDown Live has a lot more excitement going on with Kofi, with Kevin Owens now back, Daniel Bryan just being masterful at what he's doing. You got the Usos, tag team champions, Ricochet and Aleister Black on SmackDown Live. You got Andrade and Rey Mysterio. Some good things happening on SmackDown Live, man. It's a lot better on Tuesday nights than it is on Monday. A lot more to be excited about. And tonight was a very, very good offering from SmackDown Live. Kudos to WWE. I will see you guys tomorrow. NXT tomorrow. I don't know what's going on. I believe we got Shayna Baszler versus Mia Yim on NXT tomorrow. And I believe we are getting the Dusty Classic started with the next 4 teams to be announced in the overall 8-team tournament, man. So that should be exciting for NXT. Make sure you guys go and follow me on social media at JD from NY206, both on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me on Twitch, JD from New York. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. And if you guys want to support the podcast on Patreon, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Get your new t-shirts, man. Down in the description below is the link that you need. Off the script, official merchandise on bonfire.com. JD's Elite, almost at 150 sold for the month of February, man. So make sure you guys go and get yours today. Bonfire.com, link is down in the description. Let's push that threshold past 150. And if you guys missed any of the content that I uploaded this past week, including Monday Night Raw, make sure you guys go and check all that stuff out. Link will be in the eye that you see in the top right corner of your screen. I am getting out of here, man. Thank you so very much. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for NXT. Until then, hit that thumbs up. I'll see you guys tomorrow for NXT. Talk to you later.